one of the questions I get the most is, Kelly, what are the best suburbs in the entire area of Phoenix? That's a very good question and one that is subjective, but as a real estate agent for 19 years working the entire Phoenix area, I have my opinions on that, and you probably would hope that I would. So we're gonna dive into those best suburbs in the entire Phoenix area, and it's not gonna be, on this video at least, what you probably expect. But first, I would love to put those 19 years of real estate experience to work for you, and my team, Cook & Associates Real Estate Advisors, would love to answer any questions you have about selling a house, buying a house, or relocating to the Phoenix area. We have over 430 5-star reviews on Google, and we would love to chat with you. So feel free right here to shoot us an email at info@cookandassociatesaz.com or call us at 480-660-5974. Now let's jump into one of those best suburbs in all the Phoenix area. And it's not gonna be what you think it is. Now there are some really good suburbs in the Phoenix area and some popular ones, especially on a national basis, that people out of state know of by name. But we're not going to include those suburbs, or at least what you think those big suburbs would be, in this video. Suburbs like Scottsdale, Chandler, Gilbert, Mesa, those are not going to be on this video on this list, because we're going to niche down a little bit further to let you know about some of the other ones that are up and coming, because we know Scottsdale, Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert are amazing places and they would be on anyone's top 10 list. But let's dive a little bit deeper, and let's start with 3 main suburbs as well as one bonus, because who doesn't like a good bonus, that I'm going to cover on this video. And number 3 is going to be Anthem. So what are the criteria that makes a good place to live for this video? Well, it's going to be things like public schools, crime and safety, housing, maybe some nightlife, family life, and diversity. First and foremost, where is Anthem located? Well, geographically, if you look at the map right here, Anthem is at the north part of Phoenix. So geographically, you might say, well, it's kind of on the outskirts, and you would be right in saying that. However, that location is becoming more and more important and convenient because of the I-17 interstate that runs north and south right through Anthem. And in addition to that, not only is it a great conduit to hop on the I-17 and go down into central Phoenix or downtown Phoenix for work, you can go north to these places like Flagstaff and Prescott, these highly desirable places in the northern rim, the mountainous area of Arizona, because believe it or not, Arizona does have a lot of geographical diversity, and the weather will change by 20, 30, 40 degrees by going from just your spot in Anthem all the way up just an hour and a half north to Flagstaff. You can ski in the wintertime when it's 75 degrees and sunny down here. You can escape the heat in the summertime when it's 110 down here in August and head up to Flagstaff and it'll be 80 degrees and get a nice round of golf in. So the location overall is very good. Not to mention the growth that's happening around the Anthem area. Just to the south of Anthem, you have a ton of growth anchored by the new Taiwan manufacturing semiconductor company plant. It's a multi-billion-dollar plant that's going in right there off the I-17, just a few miles south of Anthem. And that's going to provide a lot of jobs, about 4,000 plus jobs, highly paid engineering type jobs going in right there. So they will be looking for housing they can afford because of their income they're receiving, and that's going to spur development along this I-17 corridor in the whole Anthem area. The population of Anthem is 22,700 people currently, and the median home value of a property in Anthem currently stands around $458,000. But if homeownership is not for you at the current time and you want to rent, the median rent price is $2,100 a month for an Anthem property. And what's nice about Anthem is the lifestyle diversity, because Anthem actually has 2 main parts of the entire suburb or area. You have a country club side on the north part of Anthem, and you have a park side on the south side of Anthem. Now, obviously, the north side is all private. You have a guard-gated homes. You can be part of a golf club community that has a ton of top-notch amenities, and we have a whole video on Anthem that you can check out right here. But also on the south side, you have the park side, which is also very nice, not guard gated, but you have a community center that is amazing, that with your HOA dues, you have access to. We're talking train parks, we're talking water slides, we're talking amazing community pools, and much, much more. So Anthem really is a sustainable area with grocery stores and other stores and restaurants that you really don't have to leave for most of what you want to do in your daily life. You have plenty of school options as well. There is Boulder Creek High School located right there in the center of Anthem. You also have access to a couple other different private schools when it comes to a basic schools nearby. You have Greyheart Academy nearby, and some other charter schools as well. Now, the average median household income in Anthem stands right around $114,000 a year. So people in Anthem are making good money, and most of the jobs are not located in Anthem. You will have to go right outside Anthem, if not further, to go to the jobs. But again, the transportation to get there is really good. Hop on the I-17 and you can get to almost anywhere you need to go fairly quick. When it comes to nightlife, there's not a whole lot of that in Anthem. And there are some wine bars and places like that you can hang out, and a good restaurant that you can maybe hang out later on in the night, but not 2 a.m. We're not going to the club in Anthem. That's not what this is about. So it's very good for family life when it comes to Anthem, because everything is kind of self-contained when it comes to schooling and sports activities and things like that for your kids that are very, very nice to do, while you still have access to a lot of the North Phoenix activities that are going on for youth leagues and sports as well. So Anthem is a great place I highly recommend to keep on your radar list if you're looking for a phenomenal place to live in Phoenix area. Now let's move to the second suburb that we have on our list, and that's going to be Litchfield Park. Okay, where is that? We're gonna move over to the West Valley, and Litchfield Park is located out there. It's just north of the I-10 interstate, and as you see on the map here, it's not very big of a geographical area, but it is an area that a lot of people desire to live in. Why? Because it's small town living in the heart of all of the hustle and bustle of the Phoenix area. In the name Litchfield Park is the word park, and it has a lot of parks throughout its small geographical dense area, making it a very nice, pleasant place to live without a bunch of traffic. And again, being the fact that the population at Litchfield Park is only about 6,800 people, it makes that small town feel where, to an extent, a lot of people kind of know each other and want to get to know each other as well. You also have a thick identity living in Litchfield Park to an extent, because Litchfield Park is located just south of Luke Air Force Base, and so you do have some military presence living throughout the community, which gives a connectivity through the community as well that makes it just kind of special from that standpoint. Now let's talk about housing. Housing in Litchfield Park is still going to be fairly affordable in the grand scheme of things, with the median home value currently standing at around $471,000 for the median home in Litchfield Park. Now the rent is going to be at $1,900 a month as well. So for the West Valley, Litchfield Park is actually going to have overall a little bit higher of a median price point than most other cities like maybe Surprise or Goodyear or Avondale or Buckeye, but you're paying for that small community feel while still having access to everything else that is just right around you. Litchfield Park is bordered by several other suburbs that have a lot to offer as well, so you can easily meander north-south or to the east and get a lot of what is offered there. For example, the Westgate Entertainment District, located where the Arizona Cardinals play football, is located just very close nearby to Litchfield Park as well, so you have that access, and you have golf nearby. You have everything on the I-10 heading out west or east to downtown that you can get to conveniently. Now let's talk median household income in Litchfield Park. Right now it currently stands about $117,000 a year for the average household, which is really good, and that's why the housing prices are just a little bit higher than the other suburbs that border it around in the West Valley. From a crime standpoint, the grade is a B+, because overall there isn't a whole lot of crime, especially when you compare it to the areas around it. Now you do have Phoenix that is somewhat close by, and there is a higher crime rate in that west area of the Phoenix boundaries, but again, you're not right next to it. You do have some separation there, so that makes the crime rate much better than if you were living in the west side of the Phoenix proper area. Litchfield Park comes in number 2 because it's a suburb that isn't really talked about much, but is a sleeper when it comes to a great place to live and even raise a family. Now, before I go to the number 1 suburb in all the Phoenix area, let me throw in that bonus. Now, the bonus suburb is actually the bonus because it is a phenomenal suburb, but again, because of the economics of the suburb and the housing cost of the suburb, it doesn't make it feasible for the average person to live there necessarily. And that's why it comes in as a bonus place to live if you can afford it, and that is the town of Paradise Valley. Now, where is Paradise Valley located? Now, if you look at the map, it is a perfect location. When you talk about centralized location, Paradise Valley has it. It is nestled between 2 iconic mountains in the Phoenix area, Camelback to the south and Mummy Mountain to the north. Lincoln Drive cuts right down the middle of the valley, and that is the main heartbeat of the town of Paradise Valley when it comes to a thoroughfare. Paradise Valley is known for its glitz and its glamour and the high-end real estate prices, mountain views, city light views, centralized location, country clubs, resorts with amazing spas, and the list goes on and on. So you could easily justify Paradise Valley being the #1 suburb in all of Phoenix. The reason I didn't put it there and made it a bonus is because the average person just cannot afford to live in Paradise Valley. But if you can, this is a place you must consider to live and check out. Paradise Valley is ranked in the top 5 suburbs in all of Arizona for almost everything when it comes to best suburbs to retire, best suburbs for young professionals, best suburbs to raise a family, and the list goes on and on. So it's hard to ignore Paradise Valley, but I want to make it a bonus again because it's so high end. Now let's talk about population in Paradise Valley. Currently there's about 13,000 people that live in the town of Paradise Valley. You have a median home price, wait for it, of over $2 million for the median home price in Paradise Valley. But the locals will tell you that within the true areas and the borders of PV, it's going to be higher than 2 million. The reason why it comes in at 2 million is because you do have some teardowns that the dirt is worth almost $2 million plus, and then you have areas on the outskirts of Paradise Valley that you may consider PV by some people and some rankings, but really Paradise Valley Village and these places to the north, but really aren't in the true borders of what people know as the high-end Paradise Valley area. So if you take that area, you're looking at a median home value of almost double that amount of 2 million up to 4 million plus when it comes to housing prices in Paradise Valley. Now, what makes the housing so expensive primarily are two main things. A, the value of the land, because you're not making any more land in Paradise Valley, and the views, because a lot of these lots are on hillsides. You have city light views, you have mountain views, and the list goes on, and you have very little crime. Almost it's non-existent. Now you'd think by this that everything in Paradise Valley is guard gated and gated, but it's not true. There's a lot of neighborhoods actually in Paradise Valley that are not either one of those, and it's still extremely safe, even though you have some really high-end mansions located throughout the Paradise Valley area. On the rental side, it can vary an extreme amount, from in the ballpark of $4,000 on the low end to up to $75,000 plus a month for a furnished rental that is in the high season of January through March. So it can range dramatically based on what you're looking for if you're actually not going to buy and look to rent in Paradise Valley. When it comes to median household income in Paradise Valley, this one's hard to track because you have people with a lot of second homes that have a lot of money and net worth living in Paradise Valley. But based on research that we can find online, you're looking at about $225,000 a year, which again, I think seems very low, but that's where it comes in at. When it comes to schools, you have a lot of good schools in Paradise Valley as well. Now you have the Paradise Valley School District, which transcends into the city of Phoenix as well, but you have some really good schools when it comes to PV. PV actually has this string of schools from elementary, middle school, and high school called the 3 Cs. You're talking Cherokee Elementary to Cocoa Paw Middle School to Chaparral High School, all in that PV area, and that's why PV is actually very well known for the 3 Cs, and they're highly coveted to get into. So when it comes to Paradise Valley, it's gonna be hard to beat if you can afford it. If you cannot, there's other good options, and that's what this video is about as well. And that #1 suburb is the Ahwatukee Foothills. Now, if you can spell that correctly without having to look it up, it's on the honor system, I'll give you, I don't know, $1. But put that in the comments. I would love to see what people come up with when trying to spell Ahwatukee. But how it's spelled is Ahwatukee, Ahwatukee. Now, where is this located? Now, if you look at the map, you can see it's located just behind, tucked in, just behind the South Mountain Range in the south area of the greater Phoenix area. And that's kind of what makes this place so special. Now, for many, many years, up until about 5 years ago, the 202 loop, as you can see on the map, never cut through and connected to the West Valley. So it was truly tucked in behind that mountain range, and there's only one way in and one way out. Now that 202 loop has actually connected the West Valley to the Ahwatukee area, and it makes it much more convenient for people passing by, or even residents who live there to get to work if they have to work in the West Valley. Ahwatukee is very special because you have this group of people who are looking for the attachment to a major city, but yet being separated by a huge mountain range to have their own private community, and that's what Ahwatukee is all about. It is definitely a grade A area when it comes to the greater Phoenix area. In Ahwatukee, you have a population of about 80,000 people, and you have a lifestyle that's truly an outdoor one. There are hiking trails everywhere when it comes to the South Mountain Range, and people love to hike and mountain bike or road bike through the Ahwatukee area. So living outdoors is a big deal. And for the lifestyle you're looking for, Ahwatukee might be that spot if that's what it is. You have pickleball courts, you have tennis courts, you have a lot of things you can do outside, especially with the weather here in the Phoenix area, and Ahwatukee delivers on all of that. It also delivers when it comes to affordability in the grand scheme of things. The median home price in Ahwatukee is $467,000, and if you're looking to rent, the median rent is actually $1,932 a month. You have a lot of families that actually live in Ahwatukee Foothills, and you also have young professionals that are moving in more and more and more, looking to be, again, close enough to the big city, but be detached by being tucked behind that South Mountain Range. Now, Ahwatukee technically is serviced by the City of Phoenix services. So you have City of Phoenix Police, and you have City of Phoenix Utilities. In fact, the zip codes in Ahwatukee are actually Phoenix, Arizona zip codes. But when you live in Ahwatukee, everyone knows you live in Ahwatukee. So if you're doing a suburb search by name on the internet, you may not come up with Ahwatukee, at least very often. But that's why you watch videos like this, so we can fully inform you on the best areas that truly act like a suburb, but maybe aren't known as an official city by address or postal zip code. Now, the median household income in Ahwatukee is actually $118,000 a year. So again, income is up there for families and individuals, whatever makes up the household for Ahwatukee. It's such a great area. The schools are phenomenal. Desert Vista High School is a highly rated high school. You have Mountain Point High School down there, and you have other elementary and middle schools that are very good. Now, you also have the option of charter or private schools throughout the Ahwatukee area also. So again, if you're looking for a great place to live that's kind of off the radar a little bit, Ahwatukee Foothills is a place to strongly consider. I hope you enjoyed our video today of the top 3 areas and suburbs in the greater Phoenix metro area when it comes to places that are just fantastic to live for a plethora of different reasons. And you won't find these areas on many people's videos or top 10 searches because they are not the more well-known areas that everyone already knows are really good, like we mentioned earlier in the video. But these 4 areas are phenomenal in their own right, and you will not be disappointed if you choose to explore living in one of these areas. If you're a local and you're looking to maybe make a move from one zip code or one city or suburb to another, give us a call. We'd love to help you when it comes to understanding what your home is currently worth in today's market, and then of course how we can help you find that next property. 480-660-5974 is where you can find us, or shoot us an email, info@cookandassociatesaz.com. You can always check us out on social media. We love that as well, right here at Kelly Cook Homes. We're putting out daily content for your personal enjoyment. To ensure you don't miss any other videos that we put out, please go ahead and subscribe and check out our playlist right here. Oh, don't forget to call me. Call me.